Well, good morning. We're back in Middle Earth, and we are back on Medriel as she helps. I cannot remember the woman's name. Haley. Haley needs to find Theodore, and Theodore should be somewhere around Pimbar, which we are very close to now, so we're going to get off our stable ride and head off to the ruins of Pimbar to kill some orcs. Some half-orcs, to be specific. Hello, Mr. Holly Troll Warrior. They're actually quite challenging to do at level. Of course, we're well past level now. But I'm thinking I might eventually come back for here and do the quest just because you need the reputation from the quest to unlock swift travels through the area. Alright, so this is Pimbar. And that is a half-orc. Okay, so he counts for 1. That is the Worm Master. I wonder if the Worm Master counts. Let's find out. No, he didn't. Okay. He's actually part of a quest through Eregion. I bet you this was a very pretty place once. Oh, interesting rubble. You have found crumbling pages of ring lore. And I can't remember how many of those are scattered around Eregion. I want to say about 6. Okay, so y'all don't count. I guess only the ones strictly within here count. Yeah, okay. We need one more. Will you count? Yes, you did. Talk to Theodore Gorse in the middle of the ruins. You are not the brightest person ever.
Have you come here seeking treasure? Shame I got here first.
Medriel, have you come to this land seeking treasure? Sadly, I'm afraid there will be little for you to find in these ruins, for I have gotten here first, and their treasures are now mine. I have impressed Haley with my treasure-seeking skills already. Are you familiar with that old saying, the student has become the teacher? Well, I believe that it will be true for me, and for Haley any day now. Just wait and see. Theodore brandishes a small leather bag at you. Do you see this? I found it near a fallen half-orc, and I believe it to be his greatest treasure. Let us see, and remember that I found it first. Theodore opens the bag, fishes around inside, and then hands it to you with a shrug. Just a bunch of iron discs. Some of them have little white smudges painted on them, but I wouldn't consider this much of a treasure. If you'll bring the bag back to Haley, maybe she'll find some value in it. I'll stay here and look around some more, I suppose. I know there will be something worth seeking here. How could there not be? Disappointed, Theodore hands you the small bag and resolves to find a real treasure. No, you may not have found a treasure per se, but you have just found a very important clue. So thank you. Oh, Haley, you were right about Theodore. He's not exactly the brightest bulb.
I cannot imagine Theodore was satisfied with this bag of trinkets.
You hand the small bag of iron discs to Haley and tell her that Theodore is safe. Well, that is something, I suppose. I cannot imagine he was satisfied with this bag of trinkets, but who can say what has value and what does not? To my eye, these discs bear the mark of a white hand, and that is a symbol I have seen on many of the foes I have encountered in these lands. If Theodore thinks all treasure comes in strong boxes, I may have to rethink my lesson plans and return to the very beginning. Harley's laughter echoes in silence and trails away. Her smile fades, replaced by a worried expression. You do not think he really believes that, do you? Oh my. All right, let's go talk to Spalvi.
I am confident we will soon find our hobbit again.
We have come a long way and Bingo is still lost, but I am confident that we will soon find our hobbit again. Do not give up hope, Medriel. Haley Meadowsweet is a master treasure seeker, and if her student is not a master, well, he must be at least a novice or an apprentice. Perhaps they can find not just treasures, but hobbits as well. Bert Bartleby has arrived at the ruins of Gwingris. Okay.
Can I ask you something?
Can I ask you something, Medriel? Have you seen Willem Whisker anywhere? I know that he does not trust me very much, but I think in a pinch he might be useful to have around, and I would feel better if his teeth and his claws were close at hand, just in case. Spalvi looks around nervously. Do you remember the path we used to enter Eregion from the Trollshaws? Do you think you could walk back that path and see if Willem is there, or if anything suspicious is afoot? Leave Gwingris to the southeast, and the road will turn north. Do not go too far. I would appreciate having your eyes on that path, that is all. Okay, so we need to go scout out a path, and we also need to make space for Miss Maylily on the desk, because of course we do. And I did happen to look into the LOTRO store, and there are quite a variety of specialty mounts on sale. And while I certainly did not need another mount, one of them on sale was one that I actually particularly like, and I've only ever once, maybe twice, managed to get this mount, and it was way back when you could get it out of an, I want to say, from the spring, not the spring festival? I can't remember, but it was maybe the anniversary festival. You got it out of the envelopes. It is this horse here, the Lawsaw Steed. So while I didn't need to spend my LOTRO points on this, well, I did. And I'm just going to turn it so we could look at it. But I guess not. It is a nice looking horse. It's steel gray with a lighter gray mane and tail. It's very simple. There we go. Very simple harness and saddle kit. And like I said, it is a particular favorite of mine, maybe because I've only ever gotten it in game rarely, and I don't even think it shows up as a reward for the festival anymore. So yeah, if you're interested in a special steed, there are quite a few available. They're 30% off. Of course, that will end Thursday, which is when this airs. You see an axe embedded in a tree by the roadside. A threatening axe. Perhaps I'll put up a community note letting people know that there are some steeds on sale in the LOTRO store if they're interested. $30% off is certainly nothing to sneeze at. It was 900 LOTRO points even with the 30% off. So That was about 270 less LOTRO points than it would have been usually. And I'll be honest, I do not tend to often spend my LOTRO points on frivolous stuff, but, well, I'll repeat it one more time. I really like this one. Oh, and hello. Well, there's the horse. Oh, there you are, Bert. What do you have for us this time?
I've collected many fine items
A holly
during my
tree,
travels.
tome of the umber goat, Bingo's hat rack. I don't think we've started working on that. But if you start at the very beginning and get his empty hat rack and then go to each of the Berts throughout the quest chain, it gets fuller and fuller. And then when you're done, you have a nice full hat rack that you can use as a housing decoration. Nothing here. Okay. So the pet for that one is an umber goat, which we're not particularly interested in. Oh, Theodore's back. Hello, doofus.
Aye, that is what I feared.
Medriel,
This
did
is
you
a
find
dour
anything
axe.
out of the ordinary? You show Spalvi the axe you took from the tree, and the color drains from his face. Aye, that is what I feared. This is a dour hand axe, and more, it is a message. As we journeyed, I suspected we were being tracked, and now it seems I was right. A band of my people pursues us, and this threatening axe was left to callous. Well, it will not work, but we must still search for Bingo. But we must remain alert, for we could be attacked at any time. Let us travel southeast to the Holland Ridge. From its height, we will have a good view of the surrounds and should see any dour hands hoping to fall on us. Talk to Spalvi on the Holland Ridge southeast of Gwingris. Okay, so we are back and we are now at the Holland Ridge with Spalvi.
I do not see anyone, but perhaps you should look as well.
I do not see any of my people approaching. Perhaps you should look as well, Medriel. Dour hand raiding parties are not known for their stealth, but I do not want them to get the jump on us. Once you are certain we are not being followed, speak to me and we can travel to Redhorn Pass to look for cave entrances that might bring us closer to finding Bingo. Stand near Spalvi at the Holland Ridge. Look into the distance. You peer into the distance but see no sign of pursuing dour hands.
There is nothing for it. We will continue with the plan.
You do not see anyone. I do not know if that makes me feel better or worse, Medriel. Well, there is nothing for it. We continue with the plan to climb the Redhorn Pass and search for cave entrances that might bring us closer to Bingo.
You and Spalvi have climbed high into the Redhorn Pass, looking for cave entrances that might bring you closer to finding Bingo.
The higher we climb, the more difficult this gets, Medriel. Try to keep your eyes peeled for cave entrances. I believed we might find a way into the mountain in order to search for Bingo, but if this keeps up, we will simply need to find a cave in order to survive. Just keep climbing. The storm intensifies. The mountain itself repels us. But we press on. The wind rises. I'm pretty sure this is not how you fight wind, but okay. I don't think these are actual winds, but fell spirits, and let's not get thrown off the edge. Let us give one final effort, Medriel. To the ledge above. Well, it's pretty chilly up here, isn't it? Do you see any cave entrances? Look or look around. Okay. You find no cave entrances, but you do hear faint voices on the wind. No caves? Oh, Medriel, I think we may have no choice at all. This unnatural storm is too intense, and we cannot stay here to conduct a longer search. If we must enter the mountain, we'll have to follow the Iron Garrison. I did not really wish to, but it seems it will be the only way. We may have to go back down the mountain and collect our thoughts before we can collect our hobbit. Remain alert. You hear voices on the wind once more. Did you hear something? We have found you, traitor. Thorvag. The Vorg. Spalvi, you did not think you could escape us, did you? Return it to us, and perhaps we will only kill your friend. I freed the hobbit, but he is no longer with us. I cannot return him to you. Do you think me a fool? I do not speak of the hobbit. You stole Skargrim's star when you fled, and I will have it back. A pox upon this mountain. This cursed mountain has slain my warriors, but it does not matter. I will kill you myself and take Skargrim's star from your corpse. It looks as if we have to fight, Medriel. The Varg is not going to stand down, and we cannot fight his warriors and the storm both. I hope you are ready. He is no slouch with that axe of his. You are no dour hand. You will die in disgrace. Oh, look. William has decided to help. Very good. The Vorg will trouble me no more, and I have you to thank for it, Medriel. Not just you, I suppose, but Will and Whisker as well. Now let us descend the mountain. We must take the only path that remains before us. I do not want to freeze solid up here, and I feel certain it is very near to happening. Well, what are you waiting for? Let us get down from this frigid mountainside before it proves the end of us. Okay, so I think we've dealt with his followers. I don't think those Dourhan will trouble him anymore. Hopefully.
Can you believe they thought I stole the Rothstone?
Thank you for your help up there, Medriel, and for Willems. The Vorg and the rest of them did not know with whom they tangled, and once they knew, it was too late for them. It is both foolish and typical. Can you believe they thought I stole the Rothstone when I escaped with Bingo, Medriel? What need do I have for Skargrim's star? Spalvi smirks at you for a time, and then opens his pack. From within, he carefully withdraws a golden necklace with a large red stone in the center. I have no loyalty to the Dourhands any longer, and I have no need for this treasure. Why not give it to young Theodore Gorse? He has been seeking treasure since he arrived, and now, at last, he can possess one.
You're giving me this shiny necklace?
What is this? You're giving me this shiny necklace? Theodore squints at it appraisingly. This is a test, isn't it? Haley is trying to trick me. She has been going on and on about what defines the meaning of treasure and what does not, and this must be another lesson. It's quite a good fake, and I will give you that. But Theodore Gorse has become such an astute treasure seeker that he will not fall for this clever ruse. Take your elaborate mockery from my sight, Medriel. I would advise you to cast it into a ditch. That is how confident I am that this beautiful shiny necklace is a convincing fake.
Where did you find this?
Oh my, Medriel, where did you find this? I am dazzled by such a display of dwarf craft, and by the evidence of such precious materials. You tell Haley that it is a gift from Spalvi, and she is welcome to have it, for Theodore did not want anything to do with it, thinking it a fake. He what? Ah, I see. Haley pockets the Rothstone and smiles. I thank you for the gift, Medriel, and for the opportunity to teach Theodore another valuable lesson about valuables.
I feel as if a great weight has been lifted from me.
Well, my friend, I must say to you that I feel as if a great weight has been lifted. No, I do not speak of the Ross stone. That was gold and ruby, and its weight was purely material. That is not always the case with dwarf-make artifacts, Medriel. The weight of which I speak was the weight of my name. I know now what I did not know before. I am no longer a dour hand. That name and that life is now behind me. And we will choose Giver of Treasure as our title.
I am no longer a dour hand.
But I want to be something. I need a new surname to replace the one that no longer fits. I could not take an existing name, for that would not be right. But perhaps I could adapt a descriptive name. A suitable epithet would do me some good, and then we could resume our search for our missing hobbit. Perhaps you can speak with some folk around Gwingris to get an idea for me? You are the only elf I can stand, Medriel, but there is no denying that your people have a power over words. One of these elves might come up with a suitable name or title for me to bear. So let's talk to some people. Let's talk to Theodore.
Ooh, I'd be glad to help with ideas. Let's see. No. Well,
Spalvi wants a new surname. Well, I would be glad to help you come up with ideas. Let's see. He's a dwarf and Theodore bites his lip deep in thought. This is more difficult than I expected. Your friend Bingo was writing a book, was he not? I bet he would be good at coming up with ideas. It's a pity you haven't found him yet, Medriel. I will keep thinking, but I have only had one idea, and I'm afraid that Spalvi, dwarf-like, is probably not what he had in mind. No, probably not.
What do you need?
I am no expert on dwarf lore, Medriel, but I do know that dwarfs sometimes take descriptive titles rather than the surnames of their families. What does Spalvi most enjoy doing? Is he a fighter, or a scholar, or a loyal friend? If you can think of a title that best describes him, you will have found an appropriate surname. You think for a moment and decide that Bingo Dropper or Hobbit Misplacer are not the most complimentary of titles. Oh, that's good. Hobbit Misplacer. All right, one more.
Greetings to you.
That dwarf wants a surname. How should I know what title would serve him? None of the ones I might suggest would be considered polite, Medriel, and I do not wish to insult him while he is a visitor here. Well, he's honest. Basically, I don't like that dwarf. So, yeah, don't ask me.
None of these suggestions seem to fit me very well.
I don't know, Medriel. None of these suggestions seem to fit me very well. I have an idea. What if you bring battle to the various foes that can be found throughout Eregion? Perhaps the act of battle will inspire you, and you will come up with a fitting surname for me. Go get fighting and get thinking, my friend. So, now we have to go fight some mobs. And we have to fight different foes. Oh, what was that? I will take that. Thank you very much. All right, so we'll start with this Holly Troll. Spalvi Tree Feller, you ask yourself. Okay, I guess that one didn't count. What about you over here? Spalvi Bogwalker? Spalvi Glimmer Knight. Okay, so what else do we need? What else do we have here? Maybe one of the Dunlendings. Oh, I bet the worms. Okay. That's a good choice too. Oh, I will grab you. There's usually a Dunlander nearby. I think somebody else is doing quests out here. Well, fortunately, we shouldn't disturb them too much because we don't need much. Spalvi Doomlander? Doomlander? We've gotten that before. I'll kill it just in case. Okay, nope. It's only one of each that we need. But we were closer to the worms than we are. Spalvi Darkwing. There's a worm. Spalvi Wormfoe. And I think there are some half-orcs over here somewhere, if I remember right. It has been a while since I've done the quest out this way. Don't think the boar is going to count, but we could try. Nope, it didn't. I didn't think so. And I can't remember. Oh, it's just a hunter's campsite fire. Okay. Some place for a hunter to set up shop. Can use it to... Did we miss something here? We did. Rich ancient iron? I will take that. How much ancient iron do we have right now? That's dwarf. Well, not a ton. Might make a couple of gold off of that at the auction house. Ah, there's a half-orc right there. I knew there were some out this way. Spalvi Orc Smasher, you ask yourself. Actually, the Darkwing one was kind of neat. But I don't know. I don't know if any of those really would match him.
I'm sorry about this, but Haley has suggested a suitable name for me already.
As you begin to list some possible titles for Spalvi, he holds up a hand and stops you. I am sorry about this, Medriel, but I was speaking with Haley while you were away, telling her about some of our adventures, and she said I sounded very stout of heart. So I've decided that I will be Spalvi Stoutheart from now on. It suits me much better than Dourhand, wouldn't you say? Thank you for all the help, my friend, and now that I have a fitting title, I am ready to resume our search for our missing hobbit. Next week, into the long dark, and we will say name giver.
I had hoped we would not need to follow the Longbeards into Moria.
I had hoped we might not have to follow the Longbeards into Moria, Medriel. I may not be a Dourhand any longer, but the old resentments are not so easily swept away. Well, if they do not greet me with steel, I will repay them with kindness, and not in kind. During our time here, I have learned that the Iron Garrison traveled southeast to the ruins of Ecad Dunnan outside the Holland Gate. You should speak to the dwarves there and see if they have gained access to Khazad-dûm. If they already have done so, or once they do, I will meet up with you inside the entrance to the Great Dwarf Kingdom. And of course, since we have gotten into Moria, next time we will be going into Moria to continue our search for Bingo. But until then, bye for now.